conversations last offseason was Caitlin Clark $100,000 an hour speaking gigs. Well, I'm here to tell you she is not taking long getting back to work, raking in the cash because she has landed.
What if I told you that while the entire WNBA is grappling with internal strife and player discontent, its biggest star is quietly building an empire so powerful it threatens to overshadow the league itself? Just weeks after the season wrapped, Caitlin Clark, the undeniable sensation who has redefined women's basketball, has wasted no time in securing her first major offseason engagement. It seems the ink on her rookie contract was barely dry before she was already cashing another substantial check, not on the court but on the speaking circuit, signaling a bold new chapter in her burgeoning career.
Didn't need the money to do unrivaled. She's landing $100K to speak to speak for companies and represent companies all over the country. She's not hurting for cash, and I just think this is just the coolest thing ever that Caitlin Clark is able.
This move isn't just about personal gain, it's a stark contrast to the chaotic landscape currently engulfing the WNBA. While a significant portion of the league's players are vocalizing their frustrations over collective bargaining agreement, disputes, and general leadership issues, Clark has strategically positioned herself to capitalize on her immense popularity. She's not focused on chasing rebounds or making game-winning shots this time. Instead, she's pursuing lucrative opportunities behind high-value microphones, a development that has undoubtedly sent ripples of unease through the league's front office. The burning question on everyone's mind now is the WNBA simply feeling a pang of jealousy, or are they genuinely mad about the unprecedented trajectory of their most valuable asset?
So it looked like Caitlin Clark is headed to Long Island Association, bro. So it stated Long Island Association joined the Long Island Association's president and CEO, Matt Cohen, moderates a special conversation with Caitlin Clark discussing her record-breaking performances, impact, and cultural influence on October the 29th at 10:30 to 12:30.
As many of us predicted, this woman simply does not rest. While the rest of the league seems caught in a perpetual cycle of arguments concerning leadership, potential lockouts, and the conspicuous absence of Commissioner Kathy Engelbert from crucial press conferences, Caitlin is out here making power moves. We're not talking about standard endorsement deals here, which she has plenty of. We're talking about being paid handsomely just to articulate her thoughts and experiences. And let's be clear, this isn't some modest local school assembly. We're talking about high-stakes, corporate-level business conferences, the kind that command a staggering six-figure fee for a single appearance. To truly grasp the significance of this, we need to briefly rewind and consider how this phenomenon began.
Just with working back to full health, Steph mentioned that it was kind of baby steps and back and making sure you don't lose what you've worked on this season. Just what are your plans for the off season and possibly playing or just doing individual workouts?
Yeah, I mean, probably take a little bit of a break here, just for maybe a week. I don't really want to lose a ton of the stuff I've worked on, and just trying to get my body back to full health. There's some USA basketball stuff I need to get ready for. And, you know, I need to be able to find some runs and some ways to play 5-on-5 just so I can kind of get that feel back. And but more than anything, I think my main focus is really just getting my body healthy. And once we get back to 5-on-5, like just being able to test my body and make sure I know it's in a good spot where it's going to be able to hold up with everything that, you know, we think we've corrected or we think we've worked on, to be able to know I'm in a really good spot there. And, you know, when you go through injuries, especially in my scenario where it's been a few of the reoccurring kind of bouncing around, which isn't necessarily uncommon in my situation just because of compensation, and, you know, when you're dealing with things in that groin area, that just is kind of how it can go sometimes. I think it's important that you can become confident in your body again, and that's for anybody that goes through injury. So that's probably going to be my main focus is, you know, just feeling 100% again, and then obviously, you know, having that confidence in my body too.
It was just last offseason when the internet exploded with chatter and disbelief. News had leaked that Caitlin Clark's public speaking rate was estimated to be in the astronomical range of 6 figures, a reported $100,000 asterisk per hour asterisk. Initially, many scoffed at the idea, finding it almost comically audacious. Who would pay that much for a college athlete to speak? Yet the laughter quickly faded as an undeniable truth emerged. Companies eager to tap into her unparalleled influence began lining up, checkbooks in hand. Now, not even a full month after the WNBA season concluded, Clark is already booked for another high-profile engagement, proving that her market value is not just real, but rapidly escalating. The WNBA front office, it's rumored, likely discovered this latest booking at the same moment the rest of us did, which only adds to the perceived tension. Caitlin Clark has officially been announced as the featured speaker for the Long Island Association's prestigious Fall Conference, an event synonymous with big money, old money, and the kind of exclusive networking found on elite golf courses. She's slated to engage in a special, intimate conversation with their president, Matt Cohen, delving into her record-shattering performances, her profound impact on the game, and her ever-expanding influence that now stretches far beyond the basketball court. The underlying message is crystal clear. Caitlin Clark is swiftly becoming the undisputed face of women's sports, and the league, whether it likes it or not, is well aware of this undeniable truth. The crucial aspect here isn't about what the WNBA is saying, it's about the narrative asterisk she asterisk is crafting. Caitlin Clark is not allowing the league to dictate the terms of her off-season. She is seizing control, defining her own path, and in doing so, she's showcasing an unprecedented level of independence that the WNBA simply cannot control. This power shift is monumental. When a player transcends the league itself, the traditional levers of authority, benching, fining, or silencing, become obsolete. She commands an empire of sponsors, a dedicated media following, millions of fans, and now her own burgeoning platform. It's almost poetic how, while other players are still battling for better paychecks, Caitlin is demonstrating an entirely different playbook, how to generate your own asterisk wealth. She's masterfully transforming raw fame into a thriving business, converting her immense popularity into genuine financial and professional independence. This dynamic, where a star player operates so effectively outside the traditional confines, is something the WNBA appears ill-equipped to handle. Historically, the league's model has relied on carefully managing and containing its biggest names within its established framework. They've always sought to keep their stars deeply integrated into the system, ensuring that any success directly funneled back to the league's brand. However, Caitlin Clark is boldly shattering that mold, proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that she doesn't need the WNBA system to not only shine, but to utterly dominate the cultural landscape. Yet, despite this undeniable genius, some segments of the media are already working overtime to spin this narrative. You see the sensational headlines popping up, trying to frame it as Caitlin Clark chooses corporate over team unity. Seriously, let's cut through the noise. It's absurd to criticize someone for making intelligent business decisions. She isn't abandoning the sport. Quite the opposite, she's expanding its reach and demonstrating its immense potential. Let's remember, the season is over. This is precisely what the off-season is designed for. NBA superstars host their own highly profitable camps. NFL players secure lucrative endorsement deals. And Caitlin is delivering impactful speeches, commanding the compensation she rightfully deserves. This isn't about greed, it's a clear demonstration of her unparalleled market value. And who truly understands this concept of value better than anyone else? It's the major corporations, the ones eagerly writing those substantial checks. They possess a keen insight into something the WNBA, at times, seems to overlook or underestimate. Caitlin Clark's colossal fan base extends far beyond just Indiana. It encompasses her loyal roots in Iowa, stretches across the entire Midwest, and has, astonishingly, become a truly international phenomenon. We're talking about children in Europe meticulously mimicking her unique shooting mechanics, and parents worldwide shelling out hundreds of dollars for her jerseys. So when she books a six-figure speaking engagement at an exclusive luxury golf club, she isn't just collecting a paycheck. She's strategically reminding everyone, from the casual fan to the skeptical executive, that her influence and reach transcend the hardwood court and extend into every corner of global culture. Now let's address the elephant in the room, why this situation has the league in an undeniable state of panic. Whether they publicly admit it or not, the WNBA's unprecedented surge in success this past season was, by all objective measures, a one-woman engine. The numbers don't lie. When Caitlin Clark stepped onto the court, ratings soared, often doubling when she wasn't playing. Those same ratings plummeted. That's not a matter of opinion, it's irrefutable data. So, with the season concluded, the WNBA's most significant revenue generator is now independently orchestrating high-profile off-season events that have absolutely no direct involvement from the league. They cannot promote these events, they cannot profit from them, and they certainly cannot claim any credit. It's becoming increasingly clear this is Caitlyn's world, and the league is merely trying to navigate within it. The depth of this panic is palpable, evident in how WNBA-affiliated media outlets are already scrambling to downplay her independent ventures. They're quick to dismiss these lucrative opportunities, murmuring things like, "Oh, it's just one event," but anyone paying attention knows better. It's never just one event, not when it's Caitlin Clark. This is a well-established pattern of exponential growth. Last year, a single speaking engagement quickly snowballed into 3 more. By all indications, this year, that number is poised to double yet again. It's not hyperbole to suggest that within the next 2 years, by 2026, Caitlin Clark could realistically earn more from her off-season speeches and appearances than her entire WNBA salary combined. And honestly, she absolutely deserves every single cent. You cannot expect one athlete to shoulder the immense burden of carrying an entire league, constantly defending herself against aggressive fouls, navigating the complexities of player jealousy, and then meekly sit idle during the offseason. She is rightfully claiming her piece of the pie and maximizing her profit. Some observers and fans have questioned why she opted not to join Unrivaled, the player-run off-season league co-founded by Naka Ogwumike and Brianna Stewart. While Unrivaled presents a fantastic opportunity for many players to supplement their income and maintain their skills, for Caitlyn, it's a different calculus entirely. She's already generating that kind of income, and then some, through her brand deals and speaking engagements. Why would she risk potential injury in another competitive league when she can command comparable, if not greater, earnings by delivering a powerful speech in heels rather than lacing up sneakers? This is fundamental business strategy. Work smarter, not harder. This strategic move unequivocally proves that Caitlyn isn't just an extraordinary athlete, she is a shrewd, forward-thinking businesswoman. Interestingly, some fans online are advocating for her to leverage her immense platform to directly fight for better conditions and pay for other players. But perhaps in a more profound way, she is doing exactly that. By showcasing a revolutionary new playbook, she's demonstrating to every aspiring young athlete that it's entirely possible to build your own powerful brand, to cultivate independent wealth, and that you don't need to wait for institutional permission to do so. And this, perhaps more than anything else, is what truly terrifies the league. Because once players fully grasp that they possess the power to generate substantial income outside the WNBA's direct control, the league's iron grip on that control will inevitably loosen, perhaps permanently. We've witnessed this paradigm shift with other legendary athletes: Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, Serena Williams. They all transcended their respective leagues to become global brands unto themselves. Now Caitlin Clark is charting her own course, and this is merely the beginning. Her recent high-profile engagement on Long Island isn't just another payday, it's a powerful signal to every potential sponsor that she is unequivocally open for business on her own terms. Keep a close watch. A groundbreaking new Nike campaign is likely on the horizon, perhaps a compelling Netflix docuseries chronicling her journey, or even the establishment of her very own basketball academy. Crucially, every single one of these monumental moves will unfold entirely outside the WNBA's direct influence or control. Meanwhile, the league's public relations team continues its tireless efforts, diligently tweeting about unity and growth, while the true revolution is happening independently, right before their eyes. The narrative around Caitlin Clark has often focused on her undeniable impact on viewership and league growth, yet the cold reality remains growth alone doesn't pay the bills. Caitlin Clark, ever the astute businesswoman, isn't waiting for the WNBA to cut her a bigger check. She's out there actively cashing them herself, forging a path independent of the league's fluctuating fortunes. What makes this particular power play even more fascinating, and perhaps deeply unsettling for the WNBA, is the impeccably sharp timing of her latest ventures. Lee Bolsi Ab. Specifically, her highly anticipated Long Island speaking engagement, a high-profile event that has already generated significant buzz, is scheduled for October 29th, just days before the spooky season truly kicks off. This isn't just a casual appearance, it's a meticulously planned, lucrative opportunity that places her squarely in the spotlight, not as an athlete on the court, but as a formidable figure in the business world. Naomi Berdeverulen en Webiz of Sultling en Bedjaven, toen bij Xule via WWL, Naomi Day, Ki Kills Line, as as Wink the Third, Verdest Peeve AIDS. Dava Lumby what he laveragiels, Adelaide Snipping go, Honorary Omni Workers Way to Casual Bus. Days, out of Comptune Guanatinis. Now here's where the plot thickens and the tension becomes palpable. That very same week, the WNBA's collective bargaining agreement is set to expire. This isn't just a minor administrative detail, it's a looming deadline that could plunge the entire league into chaos, threatening its stability and potentially sidelining its players. You're right too, Kilda. Imagine the stark contrast. While WNBA players and high-ranking executives are locked in intense, often acrimonious negotiations over contracts in the very future of the league, Caitlin Clark will be miles away, not caught in the crossfire, but instead headlining a prestigious luxury business conference in New York. She'll be speaking about leadership, success, and personal branding, far removed from the boardroom battles and labor disputes. WEs. This is to get beyond fashions. Fucking WE be snappy this. Can you feel the profound, almost cynical poetry of it all? The WNBA could literally be heading into a devastating lockout, grappling with internal strife and uncertainty, while its undisputed biggest star is effortlessly commanding a stage, inspiring millionaires and high net worth individuals at what could easily be a lavish golf course resort. The irony is almost too perfect, a narrative gift that the press, always hungry for a compelling story, will undoubtedly devour with glee, crafting headlines that underscore the league's precarious position. How do I fetch you Tatshas and Frank in the Hirdabada desinformed of too many with Trapstar. Indeed, the headlines practically write themselves. WNBA faces lockout as Caitlin Clark shines outside the league, a powerful testament to her growing influence and the league's diminishing control over its own narrative. This isn't just a coincidence, it's a stark illustration of where the real power dynamic now lies. Next to Lee C, Hundard. And let's not forget the strategic brilliance from the perspective of Caitlin's ever-expanding roster of sponsors. For them, this entire scenario is a win-win. No matter how the WNBA's labor negotiations unfold, Clark's intrinsic value, her marketability, and her unique brand appeal only escalate. She is, in essence, bulletproof, shielded from the financial fallout and reputational damage that could plague other players or the league itself. Talk to Ald. Consider the two paths. If a lockout does occur, she continues to solidify her independent empire, building her brand and wealth outside the league structure, demonstrating her self-sufficiency. If, by some miracle, a lockout is averted, she returns to the court not just as the league's most celebrated player, but as an even richer, more powerful, and undeniably indispensable force, having just proven her worth far beyond the hardwood. Haben twat. In every conceivable scenario, Caitlin Clark emerges victorious, her star ascending higher regardless of the WNBA's internal struggles. And this unyielding, self-sustaining success is precisely what the WNBA, accustomed to controlling its narrative and its stars, finds itself utterly unable to manage or contain. Right now, the WNBA feels like a house of cards, teetering precariously, seemingly just one negative headline, one misstep, or one more controversy away from a complete and utter collapse. The public perception of instability is a constant threat, and every new development seems to chip away at its foundation.
Win that.
Against this backdrop of anxiety and uncertainty, Caitlin Clark, through her actions and her burgeoning independent career, continues to deliver a powerful, unspoken message. She does not need the WNBA to sustain her winning trajectory or her unparalleled success. She is a force unto herself, a testament to individual power in a team-centric system. Nidoa Ald Vro 40. Sa 40 Suwan. Unlike some who might rely on perceived favoritism, questionable officiating, or artificially inflated metrics to boost their profile, Caitlin Clark's ascendancy is built purely on merit and undeniable talent. She doesn't need special whistles or manufactured rating spikes. Her genuine impact and authentic appeal are more than enough to captivate audiences and drive interest. Nomi Stet's plates pull fans. Hit W1. At the core of her unstoppable rise lies an attribute that virtually no other athlete, certainly not in the WNBA, possesses to the same degree: universal respect. This isn't just about fan adoration, it's a deeper, more pervasive acknowledgement of her skill, her work ethic, and her unwavering professionalism that transcends traditional allegiances. Fint en ball, så stilegenkens. When hela Stetsergoli is six. Even those who might not be captivated by her specific playing style, or who may even openly root against her, cannot deny the sheer force of her dedication and relentless grind. They respect the unwavering commitment to her craft, the tireless effort she pours into honing her skills, and her consistent pursuit of excellence, day in and day out. Next up, her public persona is a masterclass in modern sports branding. She is consistently polite, impeccably professional, inherently marketable, and perhaps most importantly, ridiculously consistent in her performance, both on and off the court. These attributes combine to create an irresistible package that appeals to a vast and diverse audience. Crucially, in an era often defined by social media spats and manufactured rivalries, Caitlin Clark remains above the fray. She isn't out there posting petty comments, engaging in online arguments, or actively instigating conflicts. Her focus is always on her game and her business, maintaining an admirable level of decorum and focus. Kliwana Bothmanus, we see has a Western Rees. Instead of engaging in verbal skirmishes, she's letting her rapidly expanding bank account and burgeoning business empire do all the talking. Her financial success is the loudest, most undeniable statement of her power and influence, a language that speaks volumes to everyone paying attention. Known. And precisely this undeniable financial independence and self-generated power is the core reason why the WNBA is undoubtedly in a state of growing panic. They are witnessing a paradigm shift they never anticipated and are ill-equipped to handle. Since the full. Because when the single biggest, most impactful star in your entire league demonstrates an uncanny ability to generate the same, if not more, wealth and influence entirely on her own terms, it forces everyone, from fans to executives, to confront a truly terrifying question: what catastrophic consequences would unfold if she ever decided not to return to the WNBA court? In Training Wondry Sizet. Seriously, let that chilling thought truly sink in. If Caitlin Clark were to ever decide she needed a break from the WNBA, or even more devastatingly, chose to take her unparalleled talents to an international league, the WNBA's meticulously built ratings and burgeoning viewership would likely collapse overnight, vanishing faster than you could blink. And here's the kicker: judging by the sheer ease with which she's being booked for six-figure speaking engagements and high-profile business appearances, she wouldn't lose a single dime. That, my friends, is the definition of true, unassailable power. So yes, it's safe to say the WNBA is undoubtedly sweating bullets, watching with a mixture of awe and apprehension as Caitlin Clark's name continues to trend across every platform imaginable, dominating the cultural conversation. Neville. But this time, the buzz isn't solely about her incredible three-pointers or her record-breaking assists. It's about her burgeoning empire in the cutthroat world of business, a realm where she is proving just as dominant. Ingen cause daddy or. You won't find her engaging in petty Twitter feuds, getting dragged into public arguments, or having to constantly defend her choices or her character. Her energy is directed elsewhere, towards more productive pursuits. Never assessed. Instead, she's far too busy counting columns of revenue, columns of brand partnerships, and columns of influence that extend far beyond the basketball court. Appalled. Caitlin Clark has, without question, transformed her offseason not into a period of rest, but into an undeniable business masterclass, a strategic blueprint for how modern athletes can leverage their fame into lasting, independent wealth. Richard Garcias and Shad the Deltracine and Dubby. While the WNBA remains mired in internal disputes and ongoing leadership drama, often struggling to present a unified front, Caitlin Clark is meticulously constructing a legacy that generates substantial income whether she steps onto a basketball court or not. And let's be absolutely honest here, Caitlin's success isn't just about accumulating wealth, it's about creating an undeniable, pervasive noise that reverberates through every corner of the sports and business world. Superdi de Bagesti D, and just Osia. Every single move she makes, every endorsement she signs, every appearance she schedules, automatically becomes a headline-grabbing event, attracting media attention that most other athletes can only dream of. Most subs. When she plays, millions tune in to watch. When she speaks, the entire world listens intently. It feels as though even when she simply breathes, someone at ESPN is already furiously typing out an article about it. This level of pervasive influence is precisely how you know she has ascended to a stratosphere no other WNBA player, past or present, has ever reached. And deep down, this unyielding individual dominance is what truly irks and challenges the league, because instead of the headlines proudly proclaiming WNBA reaches new heights, they almost invariably read Caitlin Clark breaks another record, subtly shifting the focus from the collective to the singular phenomenon. Ja, Sevruzo sort of being the worst. She said to being dirty that is A and B, your shoes was. It's an undeniable truth. It's her name, her brand, her unparalleled star power that is single-handedly carrying the product, pushing the WNBA into unprecedented visibility. The tables have turned. It's no longer the league elevating her, but rather her elevating the entire league. But she has masterfully transformed herself into a walking, breathing, incredibly lucrative brand, standing shoulder to shoulder with titans like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Serena Williams. The uncomfortable truth for the WNBA is that its current infrastructure and traditional model were simply not built to contain or effectively manage a force of nature that powerful, an athlete who transcends the league itself. Superfizi, Fina C. The WNBA has always desired stars who would shine brightly asterisk with an asterisk its established system, adhering to its rules and contributing to its collective identity. But Caitlin Clark has fundamentally altered that dynamic. She asterisk is asterisk the system now, a self-sustaining entity whose gravitational pull is stronger than the league's own. Naomi Visenwo for Shibi. She no longer needs the WNBA's spotlight. In fact, the spotlight relentlessly follows her, illuminating her every move wherever she goes, whether it's a bustling arena or a quiet street. So when Caitlin Clark gracefully walks into that opulent Long Island ballroom later this month, dressed in a sharp business suit instead of her iconic jersey, you can place a substantial bet on one absolute certainty. Every single person in that room, from the most seasoned executive to the newest intern, will understand they're not merely witnessing a talented basketball player. They are bearing witness to a truly unparalleled cultural and economic phenomenon. Next stars Cars Set, Kistingu. So, as we reflect on her meteoric rise and unprecedented influence, we're left with a compelling, almost unsettling question. Is Caitlin Clark genuinely changing the game for every athlete who will follow in her footsteps? Or is she simply proving, unequivocally, that she was already miles, perhaps even light years, ahead of everyone else from the very beginning? Gasperchtian. What are your thoughts on Caitlin Clark's incredible journey and her impact on the WNBA's future? We want to hear from you, so drop your comments and theories down below. If you found this deep dive as fascinating as we did, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more exclusive content, and make sure to ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support helps us keep exposing the untold stories.